Well, it's what we do. Good morning. Nonstop News starts right now. We are the only station in town commercial free for the next 15 minutes. We got you covered from all angles, all the headlines, everything that happened overnight that you need to know. Joy Bergen will get you where you need to know, where you need to go with traffic. She's there, the Dome. That is what everybody is focused on tonight, championship night. But we're going to start off with the weather with Jeannette. Should be a nice chilly morning.
Yes, pretty chilly out there this morning, noticeably cooler compared to yesterday morning. This is jacket weather, sweater weather, but you may not need the long sleeves all day. Live look outside, gorgeous shot of downtown San Antonio, a sunrise at 7:15. We're seeing a clear sky over the city right now, 41 degrees. That is the temperature at the airport, but there are some actual temperatures in the 30s over northern Bexar County. And I say actual because it does feel a little chillier with that dry air and the wind at from the northwest at 6 miles an hour. It feels like it is 37 degrees. Students walking to school or waiting at the bus stop will certainly need that jacket since it is colder, upper 30s to low 40s at least until 8. At noon, low 60s after school, more comfortable forecast high of 73 degrees. We'll check out your forecast for the rest of the week. It's going to get into the 80s later this week. Your full forecast is coming up in under 10 minutes.
Yeah, downtown. This is right in front of the Dome here, a live picture where everybody's going to be headed one more time tonight to see the championship game. So far, we're really not seeing any traffic across San Antonio. It's really later where we're going to see more of the crowds once again there. I do want to check in with David Mendoza. He's in your South Texas Ford dealer Sky Ford. David, hello, good morning. So far, San Antonio's been pretty easy on you, it seems.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, it's been pretty smooth this morning. Nothing really to report on. No major delays, no major accidents. But look, you can see the sunrise behind me. Here we are above 410 and Blanco. Pretty much it citywide. We're moving along. Traffic is on an uptick, but other than that, nothing really bad to say. So hopefully it stays that way. I'm going to keep monitoring the streets, and I'll let you know the latest. Back to you.
David, thank you. Busy but calm. That's how I would describe this Monday morning. Don't forget, we do have some closures downtown for the Final Four championship game tonight. That is going to be most notably the northbound frontage road of 281, but some other spots as well. That's the latest with your on-time traffic.
All right, Joy, thanks. New this morning, someone is out there who hit a woman and then drove off on the northwest side. This was on Bandera and Hillcrest Drive about midnight. Police say the woman was walking across the road when she was hit. They say she lost consciousness for a moment. Again, police are looking for the driver. No word on a description of that vehicle. Police also looking for someone accused of shooting two people on the west side. This happened on Old Highway 90 about midnight. Police say during this fight, the suspect took out a gun, shot a woman in her hand. There was a man standing nearby. He was hit in the face by a ricochet bullet. Police say it's random. The victims do not know the suspect. Well, two tragic cases making national news, and they center around people who are in the country illegally. One case is the murder of a Maryland mother named Rachel Marin. The other is a deadly hit and run in South Carolina where a college student died. In both cases, the suspects were undocumented immigrants already on the radar of ICE. Immigration expert Aaron Karakin says that's why these cases are gaining national traction.
It's certainly something that I think is capturing national attention because of that.
Authorities say that Victor Martinez Hernandez, who is charged with killing Marin, had already been linked to a murder in El Salvador. In the case of South Carolina, Rosali Fernandez Cruz was supposed to be deported in 2018, but was still in the country illegally. Well, the Texas Department of Health and Human Services has confirmed another child here in Texas has died from the measles. This one in Lubbock. Hospital officials say that child was not vaccinated. No other health issues with the child as well. Nearly 500 people in our state have been infected with the measles since January, most in West Texas, most who are unvaccinated. President Trump spoke about the outbreak yesterday.
So far, a fairly small number of people relative to what we're talking about. Something that people have known about for many, many years. I mean, measles has been, this is not something new.
And Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. met with the child's family. He says the only way to prevent the measles is taking the MMR vaccine. Now, he had previously downplayed what was happening in Texas and had been under fire for how his agency had responded to the outbreak. Well, happening today, the city of San Antonio is inviting you to a community meeting to talk about a new park near Cielo Vista. That meeting is tonight at 6 p.m. at Dolores B. Linton Elementary. Construction could start by winter of 2027, take about a year to complete. On the agenda tonight, cost and park amenities. There's also a free workshop when it comes to property taxes. This is from the city of San Antonio and the Housing Services Department. Those classes started today. They go through May 14th. There will be 12 of them in person, 3 online. The first one is today at 4:30 at True Vine Baptist Church. If you want more information, you can check out the link on this story on our website at news4sa.com. Well, happening today, and this is what everybody is buzzing about. The Final Four now down to the Final Two. It is championship night. Florida, Houston meet for a national championship. Lots going on down at the Alamo Dome near the Alamo. Downtown is just jumping right now. News 4's Tawny Davis is right in the middle of it all. Tawny, you've been there. I mean, basically, you've been hanging out with all these folks for the last 4 days. It's been a lot of fun, yes?
Definitely a lot of fun. I got some new experiences. I got to prove to myself that I can't shoot a basketball, but you know what, might as well try. This has definitely been a jam-packed weekend, not only because of the Final Four games, but as well as Fan Fest and the Music Festival. And while today may be the last day, there's still plenty to do and a lot to know before you head out. Now, while the weekend music festival might be over, Fan Fest will be open this Monday to allow fans one final chance to get in on the action. Described as a sports wonderland, there are plenty of interactive games and experiences for fans to explore. If you do need to get downtown, be aware that road closures are still part of the commute. Montana Street, Nueva Street, and the I-37 access road Chavez to Montana and Gonzales, as well as South Alamo Street from Commerce to Cesar Chavez Boulevard will all be closed. Also be aware of the many options that can be used to get around downtown. Rideshare, electric microtransit, and all of VIA services are equipped and ready for you to use. For today's championship game, there will be no public parking at the Alamo Dome unless you have purchased a ticket. The lot opens at 3:30 p.m. And remember that the best tool that you can have is that Final Four app. It has all the information you need, especially if you are coming out here for that championship game. I know I won't, but still, it is best to have that app. And tip-off for this championship game will be this evening at 7:50 p.m. Reporting live, I'm Tawny Davis. Back to you.
All right, Tawny, thanks. Speaking of the NCAA, a settlement between the NCAA and the House could get final approval later today. A federal judge set to make a decision about $2.5 billion settlement that could allow colleges to start paying their student athletes directly. According to the NCAA, the settlement would also establish an oversight system to make sure there is fair competition and protection for those student athletes. President Trump plans to meet with Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today at the White House. That meeting 18 months after Hamas started a war with Israel when they killed 1,200 people, I should say, in an attack. This meeting is the second since President Trump took office. It comes as Israel deploys troops in a new security corridor across Gaza. Israel's defense minister says that it plans to seize large areas and add them to its so-called security zones. Ukraine is sending a team to Washington next week to begin negotiations on a new draft deal that would give the U.S. access to Ukraine's valuable mineral resources. So the long-running negotiations over that mineral deal already, because of a strained relationship between Kyiv and Washington, the two sides were ready to sign the framework in February, but of course that all went awry when the infamous meeting now between Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky and President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance.
Now your certified most accurate four-zone weather with meteorologist Jeannette.
All right, let's get right to it. Cold today, cooler today. But man, springtime, big time here in San Antonio the rest of the week.
Yeah, plenty of sunshine each and every day.
Gorgeous.
Quite cool first part of the week, and then of course warming up later this week. Catch up on some yard work, plant some flowers, maybe a tree or two, wash the car or a truck. Definitely beautiful weather for all of that. And also beautiful weather for this if you're still in town for the Final Four. Of course, I know Now there are two, Florida and Houston facing off this evening. As Tawny said, tip off at 7:50 at the Alamo Dome. But let's take a look at the forecast for those of you that are going to be out and about this afternoon into the early evening. We're looking at sunshine. Now the humidity will be low, so it's going to be comfortable. Forecast high temperature at 73 degrees. We'll see that between 4 and 5 just before tip off outside of the dome, about 70 degrees. And then if you're going to stay out late, temperatures will be dropping into the upper 50s by 11 o'clock tonight. Temperatures right now are in the 30s and 40s. This is jacket weather, so I've been saying all morning. 32 degrees in Scenic Oaks, 34 around the Rim and Selma, Stone Oak 37, Leon Valley 38. At the airport, it is 41 degrees. Up in the Western Hill Country, including the Eastern Hill Country and Hondo, seeing plenty of 30s there. The rest of the area in the 40s. We have dry, cool air that's coming in from the west and northwest this morning. Dew point temperatures are quite low in the 20s and 30s. Tomorrow, dew points will be climbing into the 40s. Same for Wednesday, and then dew points will be even higher than that for Thursday and for Thursday especially. In the Pacific Northwest, there is rain, and that's from Washington to Oregon, including Northern California. There's also plenty of rain along a frontal boundary from the deep south to the mid-Atlantic. Snow is falling across northern New England and back across the Great Lakes. There is a chance for some severe weather, but that is for this area, northern Florida to the Carolinas. Greatest risk there from South Carolina to northern Florida. In our area, again, dry, sunny skies. This afternoon, winds will still come in from the northwest. Later tomorrow, winds will be shifting to the southeast. Wednesday's highs will be in the low 80s. By Thursday, we're in the mid to upper 80s. Let's take you through the day. So we'll have the upper 30s to low 40s until 8. By mid-morning, closer to 49. At noon, low 60s. This afternoon, we'll climb to about 73 degrees, and that is below where we should be this time of the year. Tomorrow, we're in the upper 70s, low 80s Wednesday, upper 80s Thursday, mid 80s Friday into Saturday. A few more clouds on Sunday, and the morning low temperatures will be back into the 50s, closer to where they should be this time of the year, Wednesday in the morning. Here's the extended forecast for the other 3 zones, looking great all across south central Texas. Enjoy.
All right, one last check-in with David Mendoza. He's been watching San Antonio for us from above in your South Texas Ford dealer Sky 4. So far, there hasn't been much to see, has there, David?
Hey, that's right, Joy. There's really not a lot to see but headlights and brake lights. It's not too bad. We're over at 410 and 151 right now. No major accidents, no major delays. Everyone's getting their start to Monday, so hopefully it stays that way for the remainder of the morning. That's all for me over here. Drive safe and have a happy Monday. Back to you.
David, thank you. A nice, easy start to our week there. One last check-in, though, at the event map. Just want to show you one more time where those closures are going to be downtown for the championship game tonight. One more time, we're going to have all those crowds heading into that area, so be prepared for that. Otherwise, for this morning, nothing slowing us down. That's the latest with your on-time traffic.
All right, guys, thanks. 6:53 right now. This morning, San Antonio police are looking for who stabbed a man who stabbed a family member, I should say. Police say the two were arguing at a home on the city's west side. Investigators say that suspect stabbed the family member and then took off. No word on why they were fighting. And San Antonio police are also looking for a person involved in a road shooting on the east side. Police say a car was driving down Sinclair and Foster Meadows when another car pulled up and opened fire. The victim ended up crashing into a third car. Shooter drove off. No one was hurt. No suspect information just yet. A 12-year-old girl is recovering in serious condition after her mother accidentally hit her in a car. Police say this happened Saturday night when the two were getting home. Police say the 12-year-old got out of the car and was walking in front when the mother accidentally hit the gas and drove forward, pinning her between the car and a wall. At last check, we're told that girl is in serious but stable condition. A minivan injures several people after plowing into a crowded area in downtown L.A. The L.A. Fire Department says that 9 people were injured yesterday. 2 people released there at the scene. 4 adults, 3 children sent to the hospital in fair condition. Authorities are investigating the cause of that crash. Well, a parachutist does not stick the landing in France. Video shows a parachute stuck on the roof of the stadium there. The parachutist was set to deliver the game ball for an upcoming rugby match, but became lodged there on the edge of the roof for several minutes. Crews used a mechanical ladder to rescue him. All right, about 5 minutes now before 7 a.m. Time for one final look at the morning headlines. Protest all over the country this weekend called Hands Off. They're aimed at the president and Elon Musk. They're protesting the way the government has been run, the tariff controversies, and the massive job cuts. Those protests organized in 1,200 locations in all 50 states. More schools saying their students are having their visas revoked by the Department of Homeland Security. 2 students from UT and a few from the University of Cincinnati had their legal status terminated. The Cincinnati president says that students called the visa terminations at his school, quote, deeply alarming. It's unclear when those visa situations could actually occur. Also, Pope Francis made his first public appearance yesterday since leaving the hospital 2 weeks ago. The 88-year-old pontiff was in a wheelchair at the St. Peter's Square during a Jubilee Mass for the sick. He was using oxygen. He says, quote, I feel the finger of God and have experienced his caring caress. And this is the best thing you'll see really all day. This is in Germany, although probably very similar to what's happening in Washington, D.C. as well. Cherry blossoms in full bloom. In Germany, a bit earlier, they say, temperatures near 70, a little bit higher than normal for this time of the year, but certainly no complaints. Not when you have a scene like that. That's amazing.
That is absolutely gorgeous.
You've seen those, you've seen them bloom in D.C.?
Yes, live and in person, not during peak season, which is right around now, but hey, I don't mind watching from afar.
So I was in Washington for spring break, so it was a couple of weeks ago. We were, they say, about 2 weeks out. There was the buds, and you could kind of start to see it, but certainly nothing like that.
Yes, our weather beautiful here today. Great
fantastic.
spring weather this week.
Yeah.
So enjoy that. If you're in town, enjoy the gorgeous weather.
Be a little, yeah, and then stick around if you want for a couple of days after that, because it's going to be warm.
Yeah.
Maybe warmer than where you're from. As we say every day, and that is perfect. Today's a gift. Make it count.